Hello and welcome to this virtual event for A-Level. I'm Simon and this is Gareth and we're both the heads of sixth form here at Yale 6.
Helo pawb, shwmae, gobeithio bod chi gyd yn iawn. Croeso I Goleg Gambria, Gareth dwi a dyma Simon a dyn ni'n gyfrifol am pob peth ynglyn â lefel A yn safle Yale and Wrexham, Coleg Cambria.
Okay, so before we get to the questions, we're going to start with a brief video just to give you an introduction to what Yale 6 and Coleg Cambria is all about.
Here is where you will find your best discovery, your best invention, and the best you there is. We are not just your teacher today, but we are your books. We are your technology. And we are your inspiration for creating your tomorrow. You aren't born excellent. You earn it. Experiment with life. And not just with chemicals. You don't just need to look in the sky to see a star. Just reach high and take them. Outstanding teaching. We will take you higher than you could possibly imagine. Decide today to expand your tomorrow. Be inspired. Go beyond innovation. And you will succeed. We are Yale 6.
Okay, so what we need to think about really is where we're at the moment. So obviously there's a lot of uncertainty to do with the exams, a lot of things going on with A-levels, but also we've got the GCSEs next week. So generally, if you've applied already, if you think about applying, to get into the A-level, what you need is 5 GCSEs, grade C and above, including English and Maths. If you don't get the maths, then you will need to take a retake maths group to help you get that C over the 2 years that you're with us. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainties going forward to next week. So if there is any problems, you think you haven't quite got those entry criteria, do get in contact next week on Thursday, GCSE enrolment day, and make sure that you can let us know and we can talk to you about your options and whether A-level suit you. We know there's a lot of uncertainty because there are no exams for GCSEs, and so we are here to help you with those. Even if you have applied already or you think about applying, the big choice at A-level is your subjects. Unlike a GCSE, you need to think about what are your 3 core subjects. Some people do ask to take 4 subjects, but we recommend that you stick to 3. And if you do take 4, it's only if you've got very high grades at GCSE because it is a lot to cope with. The 3 A-levels are very important because that is all the universities are looking for. But depending on your career choice, thinking ahead, you need to think about certain things. So if you think about medicine, you might need to think about the sciences and maths and making sure that your A-levels suit the kind of course you want to do at university or the degree apprenticeship that you are interested in. Alongside your 3 A-levels, you'll also be doing the Welsh Bac. The Welsh Bac is important. It's similar to what you've done at GCSE. It involves things like community, where you're doing some volunteering and writing about it, working on enterprise, working as a group to come up with an idea, and also making your own project, which becomes the biggest part of it. Where you pick a subject, research it, and produce a 5,000-word document about it. That together creates the Welsh Bac with GCSE English and Maths and 2 A-levels, which is then equivalent to a 4th A-level. That's another reason we don't encourage you to do more than those 3. Okay, when we think about the AS and A2 exams, so you're going to have exams at the end of the first year. So again, if you're thinking about coming across from England, we've heard about the English system, it is different. So we do AS exams at the end of the first year, and that's worth 40% of your marks. And then you do 2 more exams, 3 more exams, depending on the exam, at the end of the second year, and that's 60%. So 40% based on the first year, 60% based on the second. The timetable, if you've been at school, is very similar to that. You have slightly longer lessons. So what you'll have is 5 hours over the week per subject. And you also have an hour-and-a-half lesson twice a week as well in the morning. So you have hour lessons and these slightly longer ones. In between that, you have free time that you can use for studying and going to the library, the LRC, as well as that freedom to sort of leave site. And that's the difference between college and school. We're going to give you that freedom to use your time to study as you go along. Okay, I'm going to pass you over to Gareth. So Gareth, do you want to talk about sort of PT and the support the student services provide?
Yeah, a college the size of ours, we have a significant amount of support networks available to students. When signing up to A-levels, it is a demanding and intense course, regardless of what A-levels you study, and the addition of the Skills Challenge certificate. And you may need to access support on a frequent basis or an infrequent basis, but just to assure you, it is readily available from student services. on the main reception area, to your personal tutor, to your academic staff, to myself and Simon, and of course any other member of staff on the site. You will access your personal tutor for 2 to 3 hours a week, where you will also study the skills challenge alongside. You will complete your UCAS and personal statement with your personal tutor and your academic staff almost from day one when you start on enrolment with us at the college. So there is a significant amount of support available to you to help you on your 2-year journey with us on the Yale site.
If you have any general questions, student services are available for any students, whether you've started with us or not. So if you ever want to contact them, they are available in college at studentservices@cambria.ac.uk. Any questions they will help you with, and if they can't answer it, they will send it to the person who can, and they'll get back to you. A lot of people get quite worried. Talk about the 3 courses that you can take. It's hard to pick 3 and be sure that they are the right courses. A lot of the A-levels we offer, such as sociology, psychology, are very popular, but they're new subjects you might not have studied at GCSE. So what we do operate is a swap, don't drop. So we encourage people in the first couple of weeks, try out different A-levels. If it isn't suiting you, come and see us and we'll look at how we can move you across. The aim is to get settled in a couple of weeks into the courses that you can then focus on. But don't worry if it didn't quite work out. Sometimes what you read on the website and the prospectus is not quite what you expected when you actually get into that lesson. And not every subject suits every single person. So remember, ask for help. Go to Student Services for guidance. They can tell you about all the courses offered in the college and give you all your options. And of course, your personal tutor, Gareth, and I are always here to help you. Gareth mentioned induction. So one of the things that will happen is if you sign on and enroll on GCSE results day, you'll be invited to induction in the first week of September. So induction will be a day when you come to meet your personal tutor. The person will guide you through your first year at the college. Also gives you things like signing on to email, how to access all the systems, and give you ideas and certain questions for like transport, getting some financial support, and so on. So that day is really important for getting you sort of grounding, your bearing in terms of what's going to happen at the college.
Well, I think Simon has frozen there just for a second.
Yeah, all right, we'll come back. So that we just for confirmation that will come through after you've enrolled. So exact dates are to be confirmed, but it should be in the first week of September. Okay, so what is it going to look like? A lot of people are going to be concerned, obviously, after we've had COVID and lockdown, what is it like in college? One thing that's been brought in is in communal areas, so that could be the corridors, the stairs and the library. If you're not at a position where you're social distancing, so you're not sat somewhere that's a good space 2 meters apart from everybody, you'll have to wear a face mask. But in lessons, in normal times, you'll be sat there, separated as much as possible, but learning as you would have done in school. There are plenty of hand sanitizers around to wash your hands and procedures in place, and all of this will be explained to you in induction. So please don't worry, we are following all the guidance in terms of COVID and making sure the college is COVID ready, but also ready for your education when it comes to September. There's a lot of support during the year, thinking ahead to where you want to be at the end. So one thing we do is really help focus you on whether are you looking for employment, applying to university through UCAS, or looking at an apprenticeship at the end of your 2 years. One of the key things to that is Unifrog, which is something you'll be introduced to very early on. And Gareth is our resident expert on Unifrog. So Gareth, I'll hand over to you again.
Yeah, Simon. So yeah, I mentioned that A-levels and the A-level journey is intense, it's demanding, it's full on, it's a full-time job, but it's also one that should be an exciting and one that you should thrive upon, particularly that you're now specializing in your subject areas, having studied, you know, a whole host of them at GCSE level. So as of the autumn term, so, you know, looming quickly, you'll be introduced to a platform known as Unifrog, which is a online platform similar to Facebook, where you have your own profile, and it's one that you can tailor your interests and your post-18 intentions with regards to what your next steps are going to be after life with us at Yale. So for example, Simon mentioned, if you're interested in university, you can create your personal statement, and Unifrog offers a whole plethora of advice and guidance on how to construct and sell, you know, your academic qualities, your extracurricular involvement, your supercurricular activities on the platform. It also helps you construct a CV that you might need if you're applying to an apprenticeship or going into the world of work. It lets you research universities in the UK, in Europe, worldwide, and Unifrog updates hourly, weekly, monthly, based on the needs of UK students. So it's a phenomenal platform that we use at Yale, and we use heavily with the students, but one that actually facilitates students taking responsibility, as you will need to do from day one on your A-level journey, but take responsibility of your next steps and engage with an exciting period of time in your lives with regards to what you want to do when you leave and how you're going to affect and change the UK, but also the world on your next steps. So as I said, in the autumn term, you'll be introduced to this platform, but ultimately on day one and induction, as Simon's mentioned, that's when, you know, your journey starts, and that's when you need to be thinking about, you know, what am I planning to do once I've succeeded in my A-levels? Where am I going to go? Yeah, Simon.
Okay, so we're going to move over to the question and answer session. So we've got any questions coming live, and if we also got some that are pre-prepared as well, that coming earlier. Okay, well, I'll start with one of our pre-prepared ones. So there's some people asking about transport, particularly. Obviously, transport, some people thinking about how will it work? Is it free? Basically, if you're beyond 3 miles from the college, then you are entitled to free transport. So that could be whether you're using college transport or using public transport. Any questions about that, then feel free to go to the student services, and they can give you an idea. We also have all the bus routes as they are on the college website. Have a look here. So again, it's a subject that I know I mentioned before, but it's come up again, is what can we do if you want to change your subject? Right? You do have up until the half term. So you have about 6 weeks to make that change. However, we do encourage you to do it as quickly as possible. The thing to do is not leave it too late, because anything you do change, you obviously have to copy that up. So do bear in mind, taste, lessons, try out ones, talk to friends, see what they think. But yeah, you can change for up to 6 weeks, but make it as early as possible if you can. Okay, moving to the next one. Is there support with choosing university and what course is best for me? So about 80% of our students will at least apply to university and look at going. Some go locally and some go all over the country and even internationally. In terms of support, what we do, you have Unifrog from the start of the term, which we get you to think about things. When you come back after your ASs, we really step it up a gear. So what we do is we have a day where we're going to be focusing on getting the UCAS form sorted, researching universities, thinking about what is best for you. Those people not looking at university can start looking at apprenticeships. They want to stay locally, look at degree apprenticeships. That's where you're paid, but you also study for your degree at the same time. Really good local examples of that, things like Jaguar, Airbus, etc. Lots of things there. So there is lots of support, and it comes from the PT as well, the personal tutor. So the personal tutor will help support you with UCAS, making sure that you get the reference together from your subject teachers and supporting you in getting that sent off for you. So whatever direction you're taking, you will get support for that question. Can I resit my GCSEs while studying A-levels, for example, maths? So I say maths, if you don't get your C in maths, you will have to do that and repeat it. With English, what we'd say is that, with English, what we'd say is that you need that literacy. You need to have that C grade, okay, if you're going to cope with the subjects they're doing. The A is for advanced in A-level, and that's where that difficulty comes in. So any other subjects, if you want to reset those, you can do it privately. So if it's something you done at GCSE and you want to have another go at it, you can work that out with our exams office. Okay, if anybody's got any live questions, whatever platform you're watching this on, you can send those through and I'll be able to answer those. Okay, so if you have got a question that's not been answered yet, do please send those in, whatever method you are using. Okay, so can I apply for a course in September? Do need to do it now. The earlier you apply, the better, even if you're applying to multiple places. So say you're thinking about staying in your school as a sixth form or applying for it, or you're thinking about, I'm not sure if I want to go for a vocational course or an A-level course. It's worth applying now just to get your place secure. What we will be doing, especially after GCSE results day, is we start putting restrictions on. In terms of that, we mean we're going to have 4 classes of biology, we're going to have 5 classes of that. And it gets more restrictive for you when you're trying to fit your options around. So if you've got a clear idea what subjects you want, the earlier you apply, the more that'll be put into the system and the timetable and ready for you to go. Okay, just because you apply for it doesn't mean you have to take up the place. You can let us know later on if you change your mind, if you've got multiple ideas. But if you're thinking about it, it's worth putting that application in now. We do sometimes accept people in September, but of course the course has started, you might have missed induction, and it does make it harder for you to settle in.
There's another question come here, Simon. Diolch, Alex, for your question. Do you give UCAS application support? So just to reiterate on a couple of things that both Simon and myself have mentioned, yes, there is significant amount of UCAS support, but also support for you regardless of whether you're going to university or into the world of work or to an apprenticeship, where you have to ultimately, sell your qualities on a A4 piece of paper or in 4 different paragraphs. Ultimately, as I mentioned, Unifrog will allow you to do that on a personal statement platform where you can draft, as from the autumn term, this October, November, you can start your personal statement with the support of Unifrog, but also with the support of your personal tutor or myself or Simon. And ultimately, as you finished your AS qualifications in May, June next year, and you return for a 3-week period, that's where, as Simon mentioned, it intensifies, and we look to really kind of cementing your personal statement in preparation for submission, the earliest onset of September, October. In addition to those not looking at the higher education route, it may be that you are looking at, drafting as from the second year or whenever suits, but the support will be available to you as per with UCAS applications as well.
Okay, another question just about the most able. So some of you thinking already about maybe going for medicine, dentistry, or maybe applying to Oxford, Cambridge, most competitive universities. So if you're looking like, you need to be coming in really with GCSEs that are A's and A stars, at least up to sort of 5 A stars, because that's what they're looking for. They look at GCSEs and A level. With that, there is a lot of support. It's much harder to get to these universities. They have more rounds, they have entry exams, they have interviews, and it's a very sort of strict system that you have to kind of learn and work for. And we have support for that, both for the SERA network, which is a national thing in Wales that supports any students who are the most able at the top GCSEs. But we also support any students who are interested internally, and we'll give you everything from mock interviews to sessions explaining what you need to do to prepare for those and how to get through to that. So whatever you're aiming for, whether even it is the most competitive, we will help you with those as we go forward. Okay, well, I think unless we've got any more live questions, we've got the ones we've done that were pre-prepared and come in earlier. So if you do have any questions going forward, again, the place to go is Student Services or filling in the online form on the College Cambria website. So the email for Student Services, again, was studentservices@cambria.ac.uk. And again, any questions, let us know. And don't forget, GCSE enrolment day next week. It's important to have your application in before then and to turn up, confirm your GCSEs, and then we look forward to welcoming you in September. So thank you for listening and all that information. I know it's quite a lot to take in. Keep in touch. Let us know if there's something we can help you with. And thank you for listening.
Diolch am wylio a gwrando a pob lwc wythnos nesa. Keep in touch. Bye-bye.